Watford 3-2 Wolves. Doherty, 36, Jimenez, 62, Deulofeu, 78, 104, Deeney, 93, Wolves XI, Ruddy, Doherty, Saiss, Coady, Boly, Jonny, Dendoncker, Neves, Moutinho, Jota, Jimenez Watford XI, Gomes, Femenia, Mariappa, Cathcart, Holebas, Hughes, Doucoure, Capoue, Pereyra, Gray. Deeney Watford reached the FA Cup final after Gerard Deulofeu's inspirational cameo sealed a 3-2 comeback victory in a thrilling semi-final against Wolves. The forwards' brace helped the Hornets recover from 2-0 down with 11 minutes to go after Matt Doherty and Raul Jimenez's goals for Wolves. Troy Deeney's injury time penalty sent the game to extra time following Deulofeu's brilliant first before the forward rolled in a 104th minute winner. Matt Doherty opens the scoring from short corner. Raul Jimenez doubles the lead with terrific finish. Gerard Deulofeu pulls one back. Sensational curled finish. Troy Deeney converts from the penalty spot in stoppage time. Extra time to be played and possibly penalties. Sub Gerard Deulofeu nets in 103rd minute before going off injured. Watford 3-2 Wolves FT. That's it. What a dramatic FA Cup semi-final we've witnessed at Wembley today. (2-0) down with 11 minutes left to 3-2 winners. Javi Gracia's side will meet Manchester City in next month's final. (32 minutes of added time to be played. Watford 120 seconds from the most unlikely of FA Cup finals. (29) What? Unbelievable. Substitute Cavaleiro gets in behind the Watford defense before leaving Gomes stranded with a superb piece of skill. He looks certain to score, but the ball is trapped under his feet and he's missed it. That really was the magic moment for Wolves. 28, was that the chance? I think it might have been. Wolves finally pieced together a moment of quality in extra time down the left channel, but Jimenez was unable to control inside the 6-yard box. (27) Free kick to Wolves with 2 minutes left on the clock. Nope. The knockdown is hoofed to the moon by Doucoure. (25) Perhaps I was a bit harsh on Gerard Deulofeu. He's down again looking in considerable pain after a knee-on-knee clash. In fact, the substitute is substituted for Sema So he's been dropped, brought on, scored twice and now injured. Crazy. 23, crafty tactics from brace hero Gerard Deulofeu hits the deck injured having conceded a corner. Wolves fans are booing their lungs out as Michael Oliver tells the winger to get up. (20) Adama Traore has embarked on a couple of runs forward. Standard Traore result, though, as the rapid winger runs into trouble. (17) Watford wait 2 minutes before making a change. Femenia off, Janmid on. How long has he had a shaved head for? Anyway, 15, quick intake of water and a substitution, and we're back underway. Vinegar on for Jonny. Watford 3-2 Wolves HT. Wow. Just wow. Wolves, who had a 2-goal lead with 11 minutes of normal time remaining, trail Watford at Wembley. Gerard Deulofeu is the undisputed hero of the hour. 15 minutes left for Wolves to respond. Watford 3-2 Wolves Deulofeu 14. You are joking me? Watford have completed the most astonishing FA Cup comeback in recent memory as substitute Gerard Deulofeu gives Gracia's side the lead. Andre Gray releases Deulofeu, who strides beyond Jonny before calmly slotting past Ruddy, who strangely only stuck out a leg. You wanted drama in the FA Cup? You've got it. 14. Capoue booked for a tired foul on Dendoncker. No chances to speak of, everyone's knackered. Not the sight Watford defenders wanted to see. Speed merchant Adama Traore replaces Moutinho. Clearly Nuno expects to win in extra time because the Portuguese would surely have taken a penalty. Watford have lost their last 3 penalty shootouts, Wolves have lost their last 4, could be spectacular for the neutral. Holebas finally accepts his day is over. Adama, who started at left back against Manchester United last week, replaces him. Like for like. 8. It doesn't look like Watford left back Holebas can overcome a severe dose of cramp. He's trying to continue for the meantime, but I suspect he'll be off shortly. 5. He hears Jonny. The left back arrives at the corner of the box to fizz one at Ruddy, who unconvincingly tips it over the crossbar for a corner. Moutinho sends an inswinger into the box that Ruddy punches away. Yes, in convincing style. How do Wolves come back from this? Nuno virtually had to physically lift them off the floor during the break. Add to that the fact Ruben Neves and Diogo Jota are now off the field, I would say that it's advantage Watford. Watford 2-2 Wolves 1. I'll reset the clock, folks. 30 minutes of extra time to be played at Wembley. No a fingernail left in the house, nor a tissue for the devastated Wolves fans. They thought this was in the bag. Watford 2-2 Wolves FT, extra time on the way, folks. Unbelievable end to this game. Troy Deeney has been directly involved in 10 goals in last 14 FA Cup games, 6 goals, 4 assists. Watford 2-2 Wolves Deeney 94. How big are Troy Deeney's cogents? Big enough as the Watford captain lashes home the penalty to force extra time. Hard enough to break the net, that spot kick. Wolves completely devastated. Penalty to Watford 93. Scenes, absolute scenes at Wembley as Michael Oliver points to the penalty spot as Dendoncker cleans out the right leg of Deeney inside the area. It's sent to VAR, the decision stands. 92, Troy Deeney penalised for a foul on Dendoncker to halt the pressure. Wolves will take their sweet little time about clearing their lines now. 90, 4 minutes added time. One last twist on the cards. Watford are piling on the pressure. 89, couple of changes for Wolves. Neves off, Bennett on. Jota off, Caballero on. Chance of he's got to do better. Deulofeu wriggles his way into the penalty area and squares the ball to the unmarked Holebas, who smacks it into orbit. Big let-off for Wolves. 87, only Troy Deeney, 15, has been directly involved in more goals than Gerard Deulofeu, 13, in all competitions this season for Watford. 8 goals, 5 assists. '85, wonderful FA Cup chaos unfolding here at Wembley. Matt Doherty breaks with Watford short on numbers. He finally reaches the penalty area before slicing wide. 83, Watford are throwing the kitchen sink at Wolves now. Javi Gracia's side have set up camp in opposition territory and don't look like leaving. No real chances though. 80, now folks, we have a game on our hands. Watford 1-2 Wolves Deulofeu 78, that was completely outrageous. Substitute Gerard Deulofeu, who was inexplicably left out of the starting side, shows manager Javi Gracia the error of his ways with a sensational goal to drag Watford back in this tie. The winger collects the ball inside the penalty area with lots of bodies in the way. His solution is to produce a brilliant curling effort with almost no backlift that drifts over Ruddy. '75, Raul Jimenez has scored in 4 rounds of the FA Cup this season, 3rd, 4th, quarter-final, semi-final. Only Padre Gamond has scored in more, 5. '73, it's just not really happened for Watford today. Only once have they really caused any problems for Wolves, and that came in the 30th minute of the match. '70, final 20 minutes. Do Watford have anything up their sleeves? 69, Gerard Deulofeu straight into the action and straight into a fight with Moutinho. The pair exchange a push and a shove before Michael Oliver checks VAR to see if a red card offence was committed. It wasn't. 66, perhaps 5 minutes too late from Javi Gracia, who sends Gerard Deulofeu on for Hughes. '65, there was a VAR check on Raul Jimenez's goal. There was a suspicion of offside, but the boot of Femenia was playing him on. Watford 0-2 Wolves Jimenez 63, Raul Jimenez signs on a permanent deal and celebrates with a huge goal that should book Wolves a place in the FA Cup final. Magnificent finish. Matt Doherty curls a beauty in from the right before the striker chests it down and lashes home in the same motion. Wonderful technique. Wonder finish. Wonderful use of a mask to celebrate his goal. 61. Booked. Jose Holebas earns the most predictable booking of the year. Diogo Jota nearly runs the length of the field before being blatantly pulled down by the Watford defender. "11 yellows for him this season. Joint highest in the country. Congratulations, Jose." "60. Is it time for Gerard Deulofeu? I spy the Spanish winger warming up on the touchline." "57. Where there's Troy Deeney, there's a chance." The Watford captain peels behind before glancing a Hughes free kick over the crossbar. "54. Cathcart earns himself a booking with a proper old-school arm lock followed by thumping the ball away. Good candidate for most unfashionable defender in the Premier League, I'd say. Anyway, what can Wolves do with this free kick? Ruben Neves steps up, whoosh. The midfielder went straight for goal with a dipping drive that whistles past the post. "51. Another chance to double their lead goes begging. Once again that Jota-Jimenez combination is proving too hot to handle for Watford as the Mexico international prods wide. "48. Wolves have their feet firmly on the gas pedal with Watford half asleep. A simple ball over the top finds Jimenez, whose drilled effort is parried away by Gomes. Watford 0-1 Wolves 45, and we're back underway at Wembley. No changes for either side. Watford 0-1 Wolves HT, and breathe. After a fairly quiet first 20 minutes, this clash burst into life with Matt Doherty continuing his love affair with the FA Cup. "47. Sensational block from corner Coady. Andre Gray collects a clever knockdown from Troy Deeney inside the box. He unleashes a half volley that Coady somehow blocks. Massive moment in this FA Cup semi-final. "45. 2 minutes added time. 43. Wolves couldn't have scored at a better time. Watford were just beginning to turn the screw with Andre Gray missing that golden opportunity. Matt Doherty has been directly involved in 6 FA Cup goals this season, 4 goals, 2 assists. No player has had a hand in more. "39. Nearly a second moments later as Diogo Jota dribbles to the edge of the penalty area. He skips past Mariappa and Cathcart before curling 1 inch wide of the right-hand post. Watford 0-1 Wolves Doherty 36. He's done it again. Fullback Matt Doherty has sent Wolves into ecstasy here at Wembley. That's the Irishman's 4th goal of the competition and 8th of the season. A corner is played short and Diogo Jota crossover to the back post, where the unmarked Doherty nods home. What a season this man is having. 35. Close. Did I say the momentum was with Watford? Dendoncker launches one from distance. That takes a small deflection off Cathcart, but goalkeeper Gomes is alert to tip it over the crossbar. Still a corner to deal with, 34. The momentum is with Watford now as a few passes go stray from Wolves. Nuno Espirito Santo's side need to have some possession to compose themselves. 32. Big chance, biggest of the match. Andre Gray is played onside by Coady and prods Troy Deeney's chipped cross over the crossbar from point-blank range. Should be 1-0 to the Hornets. 29. The Prawn Sandwich Brigade haven't turned up at Wembley today. It means the seats on the center circle are largely empty with either end packed to the rafters. Just annoying and bad for the atmosphere, if you ask me. 26. Well, 26 minutes on the clock, and not a single shot on target. This is going to penalties, isn't it? 23. Michael Oliver has never been afraid to pull the trigger on a booking. This one goes to Ruben Neves for a foul on the touchline. Jose Holebas sends a dangerous left-footed crossover to Will Hughes, who has a total air shot. "19. Jose Holebas concedes the free kick. How many times has that sentence been written, I wonder?" Moutinho sends it in, but one of the Watford Giants rises highest to clear. 16. Jonny strides down the left touchline before fizzing across through the penalty area. Raul Jimenez sticks out a leg but can't connect. 13. A touch scrappy as both sides exchange long, booming balls downfield. Not great on the eye, but it's not dampened spirits inside the stadium. Both sets of supporters are making themselves heard. First booking of the afternoon goes the way of Roman Saiss, who brings Pereyra down 30 yards from goal. Troy Deeney does his best to keep the arrow delivery in play, but he's fighting a losing battle. Wolves goal kick. 7. Watford manager Javi Gracia hasn't exactly dressed for the occasion. He stands on the sidelines in a hoodie with a long black Undertaker's coat, looking anxious. No wonder he looks worried. Wolves have started the better of the two sides. Watford looking a touch overawed by the occasion in the early stages. First opportunity of the afternoon falls to Joao Moutinho, who is standing over a free kick 20 yards from goal. Huge anticipation around the stadium, just over the crossbar. Decent effort from the Portuguese magician. And he is a magician in his spare time. Not really. Watford 0-0 Wolves 1. Afternoon folks, sorry we're late underway, but that pesky Everton vs Arsenal fixture took an eternity to finish. The oldest Premier League scorer of the season, Phil Jagielka, got the only goal of the match. Anyway, we're underway here at Wembley. Quite a sparse Wembley actually. Watford vs Wolves FA Cup semi-final. Team news: Roberto Pereyra is a doubt for Watford, having been forced off in Tuesday's win over Fulham with an unspecified issue. He will have a fitness test ahead of the game, as will striker Isaac Success, knee, but Tom Cleverley, Cap, is definitely out. Diogo Jota is fit for Wolves, having shaken off an ankle knock he suffered in the midweek win over Manchester United. John Ruddy will continue in goal for Wolves after featuring in all of their FA Cup games this season. Last season, no corresponding fixture. Top scorers: Troy Deeney, Watford, 10. Raul Jimenez, Wolves, 15. Referee: Michael Oliver, Northumberland.